All right, welcome. Gonna get going. Hey, today it's gonna be quick because I'm just gonna quickly go through all the different Axie Infinity assets just so that people maybe have a better sense of exactly what assets are available in Axie Infinity, and hopefully this will just be a real kind of quick overview of what is there right now and kind of what the future looks like. I'll probably do a little bit longer stream at some point on this, but for now, I just want to make sure people get information kind of quickly, and so that it's at least a source for people to start looking at what assets are actually available in Axie Infinity, not just SLP, even though there's been this big pump right now, which is awesome and great. We all love it. Okay, so when I start these off, I always start off with, don't be dumb. This is not investment advice, but these are all digital assets, so just be aware. Okay, so these are the assets, guys. We've got Axies, the SLP, which is a token that can be burned to breed Axies. We have land, and those are limited. Land items, also limited, but maybe there will be more in the future. Certainly there will be more in the future. Structures. By structures, I should have had that one grayed out too because they don't exist just yet either, but they're very clearly going to exist. We have Luna, which does exist right now, and the other two grayed out ones, again, structures should have been grayed out. Resources and RONIN. So let's talk. So Axies, there's a bunch of different types of Axies, and they all do kind of the same thing, but they all have different values and can be upgraded at some point, is our understanding. And the legendary ones, the mystic ones, have parts that can, I should have said that differently, the mystic ones have parts that can presumably be upgraded to legendary status. So these are kind of what's available. Origin were some of the original ones. Agamogenesis, I don't even know. I think there's 3 of them, and I don't know tons about those. Very special Axies. Mystic Axies have advanced parts. Each of their parts are kind of specialized, and we've been told that they may have special interaction with land play. MEO and MEO2, these were ones that came from the Axie Lab, I believe, and I own a few of those. They also don't require small love potions to breed. Neither do the other ones, the Origin ones. Then we have Axies with Japanese parts, which are the same as the normal parts, but just have a different graphic and a different name. Then we have kind of normal Axies, but normal Axies, they have different body types. So, and I think some people may have not noticed that have just started, but there's like the wet dog, the sumo, and the big yak are the ones that are the most noticeable. But then we also have fuzzy and curly and some of the other ones too. So just be aware that there's all these different types of Axies out there, and based on rarity and based on desirability, they have different values. The second asset here is SLP. That's kind of gotten a lot of attention right now. I put the chart down there from CoinGecko, kind of showing the price and how it's spiked up. It seems to be going down a little bit right now. And again, just be aware that for the community members, having high SLP is great because they can play and earn SLP and make ETH, which is wonderful. And they can use it for other Axie Infinity assets. Having it relatively low, I think, was kind of the plan for SLP, because then it can be used more easily to breed and generate more Axies, which were the number 1 asset. Number 3 is land, and I think it's important that people see this and understand it. Land is currently in phase 1, which is quadrant 1, which is kind of this upper left portion of the map. And it's limited right now. It's capped. Each one of the different land types are capped. There's going to be other releases of land, but those are going to come later. And, that's going to depend the value of those chests. I assume they'll use chests again for sales of land. You know, it's going to depend on what land values are. So right now they say they're going to be at least 17% higher, almost 18% higher than the first quadrant. So, you know, values wise, again, I just wanted to point out, like Savannah chest price was 0.05 and Forest is 3.2 times that at 0.16 chest price. Arctic was 9 times that at 0.45, and then Mystic was 20 times Savannah at 1 ETH. Right now, the only one that is selling below chest price on a regular basis is Arctic. Mystic has a few of them that'll sell just below 1 ETH, but the only one with a significant discount off of chest price right now are Arctic plots. And again, I'll explain later in Luna, but there's a real value in wanting to get a better piece of land. So here is just kind of showing the nodes on the different lands, at least in the concept. So here we have a Savannah node, and this is a public resource node. Here is a Forest public resource node, and here is a Mystic public resource node. So that kind of gives you a visual representation of the differences in the different land qualities. Items, land items. So this is the kind of initial information we were given about land item rarity. We have common, rare, epic, and mystic. There's presently 166,822 land items. They're broken down like this. There happens to be more rare because the Forest chests came with extra rare items compared to the other chests. Epics, just over 13,000. Mystics, just over 3,000. So that gives you a good sense of land items. They're presently available. They can presently be traded and acquired. And some of them are way, way cheap if you're looking to acquire some assets. Structures, again, this should be grayed out because they don't exist yet, but structures are going to be able to be built. Those are going to use resources. It sounds like some of those resources will come from recycling land items. Some of those, hey Enforcer, hey man. Some of those items are going to come from just gathering and mining and the different ways you can get those. Each land plot can hold 3 Axies. Certain structures are going to require Axies in order for those Axies to run. Here's the note about the Mystic Axie. It might make your potion shop a little better than a normal potion shop. So the next one is Luna. Luna is the governance token as far as we're aware. Luna, kind of the economics is shown here. This was from Enjoy at Axie Edge. And he put together a great chart to show kind of the cycle, the Luna cycle, at least as far as we can understand from what's been given so far. But I think it's important to realize, like, if land is generating Luna on a daily basis, and if Mystic is generating, say, 1 Luna, then you can expect that Arctic would be generating 0.45, Forest 0.16, and Savannah 0.05. So presumably, if the chest values relate to Luna generation, it might look something like this. But again, we don't know how Luna generation is going to work. We don't know that we've been told that there are going to be Luna resource nodes potentially, and also that they will come from Chimera drops. And the understanding is that Mystic and Arctic lands will have better Chimera that will have better drops. And then we have the land items that will affect drops and so forth as well, increased percentages to get those drops. So that's Luna. And then we have resources. We've already been told that they will be tokenized. There's a couple spots here, but there's even more paragraphs that talk about how resources are going to be tokenized. I don't know if it's going to be multiple tokens or 1 token that somehow shows them different ways, but this is kind of what we've been shown as far as resources, and we expect, we know based on the most recent development update that they've already integrated ways for resource drops to happen and for collection to take place as well. So these will be tokenized assets as well that will be used for similar to SLP, I believe, to build structures and build other land items. You'll need certain ones that are more rare, certain ones that are more common, and then you'll need the blueprints, the actual plans, in order to craft items. And Crafting is going to be a huge part of Axie Infinity. Think Stardew Valley, Terrarium, if you've ever played that. World of Warcraft, Diablo, all those things have been referenced as far as the crafting and the use of resources. RONIN. So RONIN is going to be a sidechain, and since it'll be a sidechain, it'll have some form of token involved with it, similar to Loom and other sidechains. Don't know if that is going to be something. I don't know how that's going to be implemented. My mind can't even really wrap around exactly what will happen there. I presume it will be more like the Loom implementation that we have right now for land and land items, where you will convert ETH over to RONIN, and then RONIN will just be valued directly. So I don't know that we can really call this an asset per se. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but there will be validation that will be keeping the RONIN system running. There's no question that will be required. And there's lots of great information out there about all of these things. So again, I wanted to keep this real tight, real short. I'm actually over the time that I intended to spend because I just want it to be a 10-minute little blip. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to try to put some of the links to the different articles that I took this information from in the YouTube. This will be held on YouTube as well, and I'll try to put links down in the description. So hopefully you enjoyed it. As insofar as you can, please follow, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And it's a great time. I'm having a good time letting people know this information. And thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, Enforcer, and anybody else who's lurking too. Great to see you. Have a good one.